Going to VGHC. Movies you hold in high regard. Sometimes I feel like movie buffs are told what movies are great by other movie buffs and it just snowballs. Look at the most cult classic movies. Hated by reviewers, but fans made them to be the best movie ever. Could it be that movies seen as great really aren't as well? I've seen all of those movies years ago, and Full Metal Jacket was the only movie out of that I enjoy. But that was also at a time when every person I knew seemed to think it was the only movie to watch. Apocalypse Now on all nights on TBS on weekends, I fell asleep through it every time. I bought it on DVD when I collected movies because it came in a nice package. I watched it once and never thought about it again. It seems the cinematography is what makes people love these movies, but I can't consider that making a movie great. Keep in mind Iron Man is 11 years old now, and the MCU did something never done before by creating this universe alone. I'm sure they will still be talked about in 20 years. Now, do I love all the CGI and green screen? No way. Not even close. To me, a movie like Alien or Terminator looks better. Yeah, a lot of the green screen stuff and CGI, you can tell it in a lot of the Marvel movies, but sometimes it's done very, very, very well where you can't tell much of it at all. Um, Now, you're right in what people will look back on the Marvel universe is not really, I don't think any particular movies, because if you're judging it, I know it sounds weird, but you kind of have to judge it like as a whole because it's the first time you've ever had something like that happen where there's a huge universe. Other people tried to duplicate it. DC tried to duplicate it, and that really didn't work out that well. I think The Mummy, didn't they try to make some kind of like a horror universe or something? Didn't work out that well. Whereas you have multiple movies intertwining with each other. Explain to me who else did it better. Now some of those movies, a couple of Marvel Universe movies were kind of stinkers. And they were not all on the level of something like Civil War, which I think by far was the best one. But to take something from comic books and actually convert it into what that was something to be applauded. And I think, even though you can judge these movies separately, some of them just as kind of like, um, popcorn fluff or whatever. Some of those like Civil War and, a couple movies in a genre like The Dark Knight, Batman and everything. I would put Civil War up there with Dark Knight. Endgame probably a little bit behind, but that's just me. The first Iron Man, great. Easily the best of the series, I would believe. Iron Man 3, I hated Iron Man 3. I didn't like Iron Man 3. Iron Man 2 was okay and everything. But those movies, kind of got worse as they went along. So, yeah, that's how they'll be remembered. As far as movies that people hold in high regard that I didn't care that much about, I mentioned this before, The Witch. I went to see The Witch on a date. I almost fell asleep. I understand, not exactly, maybe not my particular kind of movie, but if you're making a movie, like if The Witch was a TV show, it'd be canceled, basically.